Oh, there we go. I think we're live.
Nice.
Indeed we are. Yes, we are. So, there we go. Good evening, everyone, to the second round of the BTCC Blueprints with STDash Designs. Round 2 at Lago Maggiore. I think I've actually pronounced that right. I probably haven't. I may have butchered it, but my apologies. I am your commentator as always, Sean, and I have been joined by a guy who was actually very emotional this week because he finally found out who his father and his mother was, and now they've made a new children's story called Goldilocks and the Four Bears. It's Jenny Bear. How you doing?
Nice. How's it going, man?
Just before we talk about the racing, what was Baby Bear like when his porridge was eaten?
Oh man, that wouldn't have been a good day. That'd have been a bad day.
Yeah,
for everyone involved.
Yeah, are you still on the lookouts for Goldilocks?
You know it. That's all good. Let's get to racing. Who cares about the past life?
I was just about to say, you might as well just sort it out, man. You might as well just punch her in the face or something. Anyways, let's get back to some racing. Lago Maggiore, or whatever you call it, I don't know. But yeah, this is a very interesting circuit. Lots of elevations around this track, so the drivers are going to find a little bit tough around here. But either way, it should be some entertaining racing tonight.
Yeah, it's a fantastic track, you know. It's one of those tracks that GT makes to kind of, I don't know, it's a fantastic track. It has a lot of different sections. It's got a technical section, a straight section, and then, I mean, it has like one of the coolest hairpins in the game. So it's a pretty fun track in all honesty.
Indeed it is. Just going to talk about, as we're watching your hero out on the track there, Colin Barrow, who's actually looking very quick here tonight. So hoping to see Colin Barrow fighting up there with the big boys. Just talking about the drivers' points here. And just noticing there, Tompkinson is leading the way on 70 points. That was because of his 2 wins that he had last week. Ben Milden sits second in points on 64, and Sean Cool, Tompkinson's teammate, on 63, and McEwen on 62. So you got second, third, and fourth fully separated by 2 points there. Piper on 58, who was heartbroken last week with that last lap pass from Milden at the on the last lap at the Nürburgring. Jordan Hogan, who is unfortunately not going to be here because of family grievances, so you know, our thoughts and wishes are with Jordan. He was going to be replaced by Xavier McIntosh, but he only just messaged on the Facebook page saying that he is not going to be showing up, so unfortunately Colin Barrow is going by himself. We're waiting for Chris Clements to come onto the track. He sits on 32, his teammate Adams on 26, Thomas Chevalier, who is not here with us, as well as Clements, he's on 18, Alex Austin on 14, Gareth Morris, who is now unfortunately quit the series because he had some penalties that I handed out to him and he didn't like it. Oh, there's Chevalier, he's finally in here. So Gareth Morris has been replaced by the returning Nathan Myers. There he is there, 4th fastest at the moment. So Nathan Myers taking over from Gareth Morris's ride. Thomas Walsh on 5 points. I was going to say Leon because he raced in the series loads of times. Colin Barrow on 3 points, and Ash Sharp, who had a very bad time out at the Nürburgring last week, sits on a massive 0 points. In the teams championships, well, Honda is just dominating at 133 points over the Fords of Ben and Alex on 78. And Volvo on 63, Vauxhall on 62, Audi on 58, Nissan 44, and Renault on 27. So then, are we going to see another double winner, or will we see some 3 different winners for tonight?
Oh man, I mean, we have to see what the paces look like. Saying that before qualifying is hard to say, just because you never know. Sometimes with the track, I would say probably not. 3 different winners is always pretty common when you've got a one make where everyone's driving the same car. A track that has a lot of different options. You can just see how wide the track is. No matter where you're looking, you could have potential to go 3, 4 wide. So, no, it's tough to win back-to-backs. But at the same time, like, if you can just get out in front and to stay out in front, like, well, there's a chance to win 2 of the 3. But then the reverse grid always puts in hard to win, like, all 3 of them.
Yeah, just going to get to qualifying soon in 2 minutes, and I do want to bring up again what happened with last week with with Tompkinson. Why is everyone going into the pits? This is annoying. Right, so actually, let's have a look then at Chevalier, because I know he's just going to be out on the track. So going back to again the qualifying, I'm wondering if the championship contenders like Cool, Milden, McEwen are probably going to sacrifice not to get the championship point for pole position. Oh, there's Jordan. Jordan Hogan's joined. Nice.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice to see. That's good to see. Lovely to see Jordan back on the track. Yeah, I was just about to say, because if you think back to last week when Tompkinson won the race, he qualified on the medium tyres, and so too did Jordan Hogan for that matter. Obviously, Tompkinson won the race, and Hogan finished a very respectable 6th. But if you think back, Tompkinson qualified 10th, and Hogan qualified dead last. And I mean, like I said, Hogan with a fairly respectable position and Tompkinson winning the race. Do you see the guys like Cool, Milden, and McEwen, or Piper for that matter, go and qualify on the medium tyres and get that tyre out the way for the first race?
Oh, well, I think it only works so long as the people qualifying on medium tires stays low. So if you're like one of 3 people qualifying on a medium, sacrificing that so that you can get that all taken care of, then sure. But I think if the entire lobby was to qualify basically on mediums, then whoever qualifies on super softs and starts that way is gonna just take off and like just never have to race anyone. So it's one of those risk rewards, because if you switch to mediums and so does 7 or 8 other people, you're kind of just ruining your own races there, because you're going to be stuck with them, you're going to have to race them anyways, and the softs will pull away. So, I don't know, maybe. It's risky. It's not going to get you at this top, and it's tough to fight through traffic. But, you know, it works, so... And I'm sure they've done a lot more math on it than I have, having practiced it. I just remember us discussing it last week, and it seems like it just only works if, like, the entire lobby doesn't do it. Because if the entire lobby does it, whoever starts super softs is probably going to run away with that whole race.
Well, I mean, just to bring up with the race in race 3, when Piper dominated the whole race, because he started on the super softs and made a pit stop and then ended up losing it at the Vito chicane, and he lost the win because of it. So it's going to be interesting what tyre strategies these drivers are going to come out here for the first race. Also to note, Piper's teammate Thomas Welsh has got a qualifying ban because he made contact there a couple of times with Ash Sharp, who we're looking at now, and this is desperation times here for Ash, because he's sitting here with no points, had a very miserable Nürburgring, got punted off a couple of times, so he wasn't the best of moods, but hopefully Ash will be looking for some redemption here tonight. And he's just getting his, just following his teammate McEwen around. We did see him having a moment up at turn 5. There is a few corners that can trick you out here as qualifying will get underway. Turn 5 is definitely the one of the corners to look out for, as well as that hairpin where you go downhill and then it's like the banked hairpin, second gear for that. So here we go, let's get qualified underway. Again, as always, 5 minutes for those that are new to watching this. We do 3 races in all. The first race is determined by qualifying, and then whoever finishes in what position between 6 to 14 will be in the ball draw. Just that we will start on pole for the second race, and the guy who wins the first race will start second in the second race, and then in the third race it is a reverse grid order. So leading out the way will be Chevalier, although there's a bunch of cars there. Clements there, Piper and Sharp there, double file there too, and there's Adams in the background and all. Coming up to this rather annoying turn 4, which feels quite fast, but it's very understeery because you go over, look at that nasty bump over there, and then downhill past the first sec there, and then in towards turn 5.
Clements is going for the mediums. He's the only one.
Is he the only one starting on the mediums? I mean, that might be a smart move, I think. No, that's Adams there, Sean. What are you doing? I'm trying to find him. Where is he? There he is. So I'm thinking if Clements is doing what Tompkins is doing in the first race, I mean, it may become a smart move here. It may be a smart move, but it seems to me everyone's going to start on the super softs apart from Clements.
I mean, the goal of it, right, is to just jump in the pits pretty much as soon as you can with tires, that is. and switch over to your super softs, because that pit stop's going to drop you way back with no traffic. Then you can just run qualifying laps on super softs basically until people start pitting. If the whole track goes into pit, you just go by everyone.
Very interested there. Sorry there to cut you off there, but just noticed their sharp there just went off, turned the opposite direction at the hairpin. That was a very interesting moment. And again, Sharp there not having the best of seasons already. But he's back on track now. Probably would have lost a little bit.
So
yeah, it was an outlap. Hope he didn't get any help from whoever that was behind him. And I mean, if that would have been Piper, I mean, well, Piper apparently is on a warning, so you know he's got to be on his best behaviour now for the rest of the season. But we know him what Piper's like. He can be a bit of an aggressive a racer. Because if you do try and pass him around the outside, he will push you off the track. So Piper's going to have to be a good little boy here today. Obviously maybe still feeling a bit heartbroken from that race 3. Could have had the win in the bag before losing it to Milton. And like I said, as I've said already, his teammate has got a qualifying ban, so no matter what, he is going to start dead last. We've got 13 people in here, no Xavier McIntosh, so like I says, Colin Barrow is going alone for the... Oh no, sorry, Hogan is here. Sorry, my bad, Hogan is here. And he just also put on the chat there that he's had no practice whatsoever, so that's going to be interesting here for Jordan.
Yeah, and I think Piper's qualifying has to be getting held up here, because he's behind Clements, who's on the mediums. And there's just no way these super softs, there's no way he's going on a flat lap right now.
I see. What would you say roughly is about the time difference between the super softs and the medium tyres here? Probably about what, 1.5, 2 seconds?
Yeah, it's
roughly
a lot.
About that.
Yeah. I haven't seen enough medium times to know for sure what a consistent time is, but we were seeing 204s and even people into the 203s on super soft, so I can't expect mediums or anything less than maybe a 205. So that's interesting.
Just seeing some of the chats there. Only 2 people have commented on there. Colin Barrow says hi, and Thomas Wells is saying hello all from the pit lane. So he's probably got a laptop in his car right now as we're looking at Liam McEwen making his way through turn 16 and then towards the downhill turn 17. Again, fast, daunting corner. Just let the car run out wide here. And let's see what lap time this is going to be. We did see times in the 2-minute freeze. And we will see that. A late 203 for McEwen. Tompkinson goes quicker with a 203.2. His teammate Cool goes there. And Milton goes to the point with a 203.2.
Man, I mean, Milton's just been impressive. We'll see if it stands, but battling for first in the overall standings, battling at the top of every race, just really been a good season for him so far.
Tompkinson's pulled into the pit lane now, as we've only got 20 seconds left to go until the end of qualifying. And look at that, Rob Adams has now gone into the pool with a 203.226. That Audi was flying around that lap time. Solid effort that from Adams. And I think he's parked it up there for the qualifying, as we've only got 5 seconds to go. And I think everyone else is going to be doing another set of qualifying lap here. And I think that was Sharp, I just noticed there too. Going a little bit off there. But looks like Milton is in the pits. His qualified is done. And just look at that there. The top 3 separated by half a tenth around a track that's just over 2 minutes long. That is unbelievably close, that. Half a tenth there between first to third place. Now, but here we go, looking at Sean Cool here, going into turn 11.
Yeah, well, Austin's on a red lap, so his is pretty much over, but Liam and Sean, I think, are both still on hot laps.
Yeah, they're both on hot laps, but I just noticed there Sean put a couple of tires on the kitty litter on the exit of turn 11, so his time is going to be destroyed because of that, and he's 3 temps down, so he should park it up there. I think everyone else is good enough to do yet another qualifying lap. We'll see what McEwen can do. He's 6th place.
The end. That timing is just for them to finish this. As soon as they hit the line there, qualifying's over.
Here we go then, let's see what McEwen could do. 203.8 was his time, 6 tenths off pole. He'll probably go quicker. And he will come across the line and goes into 5th place, 203.484. Cool does not improve. Alex Austin, we look at that, just put a couple of wheels on there. Jordan Hogan does a better time of a 2:04.1 as Austin pulls into the pit lane. Chevalier in 7th, and he's just went quicker, only just. Piper goes into 8th place, he's a bit quicker. And Jordan Hogan, who's put no practice in whatsoever to qualify 9th, that is a very solid effort. Colin Barrow, his teammate, he's just coming across the line, he's not going to improve, and he's going to finish in 10th place. And the returning Nathan Myers is going to start 12th, and Clements on the medium tyres is going to start in 13th, and he's 2.8 back of the pole position.
Yeah, so, I mean, this track has a lot of corners, so those mediums just, aren't going to have anywhere near the pace the super softs are.
And there's a lot of fast corners too, especially the second sector, you know, turn 6, 7, 8, that snake complex, that's pretty much flat out through there too. So that's really going to hurt the guys on the medium tyres. But I'm just wondering if Clements is doing a Tompkinson, what he did in the first race. So anyway, his teammate Adams will be on the pole, and again, look how close that qualified is. Half a second between 1st to 6th. I didn't see what it was between a second between 1st to it was a second behind.
First
but here we go.
11th was about 1 second.
Well, there you go. That's how close and competitive this championship is. So we're getting ready for race number 4 of the championship, and we do have all 14 races. And it's Adam with the championship point for the pole position. Milton, Tompkinson, Cool. It's all Honda second row. Then it is McEwen, Austin, Chevalier, Piper, Hogan, Colin Barrow. 2 teammates there on row 5. Sharp, Myers, Clements, and Thomas Welsh. As the engine notes rise, the first of 8 laps, the first of 3 is underway, and it looks like it may be, pardon me, a good start there. I think that's one of the Volvos. I mean, I was Adam Piper made a decent start. But anyway, now it's a turn 1. Is there going to be, are we going to get through the first corner nice and clean? Oh, Chevalier gets a couple of wheels on the grass off turn 1, but keeps it together. Piper's gained a spot. He's up to 7th place. Don't forget, he's got to be a good boy for this whole season now, because he is on a warning. It looks like we're all nice and clean here. Clements has made a pass already on Myers, and Sharp is up into 10th place. I think that's a good start as well for Colin Barrow. He's gained a spot.
Sharp.
Yeah, so good start from Sharp, and I think he's going to lose it up. Well, he may lose the spot there to Hogan, who had a dreadful start because he's already lost a couple of spots and then into turn 5. Passes Sharp on the inside. And here comes Clements there. He's going to get by Sharp too. So Sharp lost a couple of spots in the process, but it is still his teammate in the lead, followed by Milton. Then 3rd is Tompkinson, the championship leader, and then it's Sean Cool, 3rd in the points, followed by McEwen. The top 5 have already spread out already, from Austin in 6th, Piper in 7th, Chevalier in 8th, under a lot of pressure from Colin Barrow, who's looking very racy already here today. Was quite quick in practice. So it looks like this Nissan is set up just right for him as we're going in towards the hairpin turn 11, second gear, about 65 miles an hour. All over the back of the Frenchman's Renault there, and just looking behind, there's his teammate Jordan Hogan in the background, and then further back is Clements on those medium tyres. Looks like it was a good start for everyone.
It really was. The top 5 have done a great job of not battling too much. They broke the slipstream, which is a huge important thing here because it's going to make everyone else behind them just try to push and push and push to catch up to that groove. So I'm excited to see them start racing, but they've really done a fantastic job of separating out right now.
Just looking on board with the season 8 champion Lee McEwen there. Oh, and I think the 2 Hondas may have made contact with each other. Milton's on the grass there. He's going a different way. And now look at McEwen. He's going to thread the eye of the needle with the 2 Hondas, and he's going to possibly gain 3 positions. What a brilliant opportunistic pass there from McEwen, from 5th to 2nd on the straightaway.
It's a tough corner to get into. I wonder if someone missed a brake spot there, and that's what made everyone start running wide, or if people got into each other going into it.
I think it was Cool. I think Cool got into the back of Tompkinson, and Tompkinson got into the back of Milton, and that's just allowed McEwen to go to 5th to 2nd as a result.
Well, and it's brought everybody into this battle, too. Everyone's in flip all the way back to, like, 9th.
Here comes Milton to the inside of McEwen in turn 5, and that's 2nd place back for the Ford, or is it? McEwen onto the grass. He's going to lose that momentum now. He may lose a few more spots. Side by side, they were Cool. They're free abreast going into the snake complex. And Milton just holds on to 2nd place, Cool into 3rd, and now it's allowed Piper, Chevalier, and Alex Austin now in the mix. So it's just a what is it, like a 20, oh, three abreast again, the two Hondas and the Vauxhall side by side, going onto the straightaway, and they made no contact there too, so great racing here, but it looks like it is a 24-wheel disaster here for second place.
I mean, Adams is just smiling and driving right now as he looks in his rearview mirror at everybody going 3 and 4 wide through the S's and stuff like that.
Look at them all just being single file. Chevalier trying to look on the outside of Piper going in towards turn 12, this flat out section of the track. Cars are up into 5th gear. Look how close these cars are there. 2nd to 9th is about probably like 1.5 seconds between each other. Oh, McEwen runs a little wide, and that allows Cool to look onto the inside. In fact, Tompkinson's got up into 3rd now, and McEwen's all that hard work the last lap is going to go up in vain here, because now Piper's going to have a look on the inside at turn 17, and he tries to put a block on Piper, and now Chevalier's on the outside of Piper and gets into the 2nd place. Austin's touching a bit of the grass, and Jordan Hogan's too in the process.
I like Hogan's positioning, honestly. He's getting to watch everybody else battle and then just choose his opportunities when they open up from...
Oh, Meldon's off, going in towards turn 1. He may have had some help there with Tompkinson. We're going to have a look at a replay here.
Cars usually react like that when they get hit.
Well, let's see what happened here. So going in towards turn 1. Oh, he tried to do the cost back on Milden, and it never worked. And Tompkinson could be in trouble there. He was on.
Yeah, he's surrendering it right now.
Yeah, he was on the outside of Milden, and then did the cutback to try to go to the inside at turn 1, and it didn't pay off. And the championship leader in a spot above it here, and he's let Milton go by. So we saw in the situation himself, but I don't think it's going to allow the stewards to get away with anything like that. But anyway, it's put McEwen back into 2nd place and Piper up to 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely shaken up the top, 4 or 5 right there. And I mean, fair play to surrender the position. I've made that move before and messed it up. It's tough. You got to race hard to win, and sometimes you mess up.
So down into 9th place now goes the Honda driver, the championship leader, and Colin Barrow's also there too. He's battling with the likes for this ongoing this battle for 2nd place, but the gap now between the leader to 2nd place, 3.6 seconds, and we're only on the 3rd lap.
I mean, that's honestly not as much as I thought it was going to be with how hard everyone behind was battling. I mean, we can see Adams running by himself. He's in the 203s. No one else is getting that close to 203s, but I bet he would rather be in the lower 203s as opposed to almost 204s, because, I mean, he could probably think 3 laps in, he could probably have another 2nd right now.
Right, I'm just looking on board with Adam's teammate Clements. He has made that pit stop. He's now on the super soft tyres, and he's 11 seconds back off his teammate, shortcutting turn 15. So that's turn 16, my apologies. Yeah, indeed. So
yeah, that's making up time.
Yeah, and in fact, Tompkins is going into the pits as well as Walsh. Walsh also started on the medium tyres. Alright, because we also forgot, because he didn't qualify on the mediums there. So out goes Tompkinson. He's now onto the medium tyres. He comes out now in 13th place, so Clements is ahead. But he's still 11 seconds back off his teammate. So watch out for Clements. He could be a threat here to be right up here. He's getting closer to the back of Sharp's Vauxhall, just in front of him. And then you've got the Nathan Myers Renault just ahead of him in that 10th spot.
Yeah, I mean, Clement's biggest issue might be that he catches this huge train too early because they've been battling so much, and he actually gets started into battle before he got an extra lap or so. But based on his times, if he can keep him down in that low 203 range and not slip up anymore, like, we know how hard 2nd through 11th has been fighting. Like, he's going to just fly by everybody who hits as long as he keeps it together.
I want to give a massive shout out here to Jordan Hogan too. He wasn't supposed to be racing because of a family grievance, but there he is. He's put no practice in whatsoever. He's in a top 5 situation here. This is a phenomenal achievement, this from Jordan.
I mean, yeah, he's been opportunistic, battling, just kind of, when you race your own race and just play off everybody else, if you do it well, you can work your way right up the leaderboards. Now, the thing that's always difficult when you have no practice is being consistent about that. Get it for 2 laps, get it for 4 laps, but, really stay focused because you got to get it for all 8. And then again and again.
Oh, the 2 Fords side by side through the fast turn 13. There's a bit of contact between the 2 Fords, and Milton gets at least a wheel on the grass. Austin on the inside, Milton on the outside. There's no quarters given between these two teammates, and look at Chevalier. And Milton's going a different direction there, and he's just completely shortcutted 10-15.
Yeah, I don't know what he's even supposed to do there, because there wasn't any room to get back. He would have had to clear his teammate.
Yeah, so a bit of hard racing there between the two teammates, which they don't need to do because they're sitting second in the team's championship, albeit a long way away from Honda. But they need to work together if they want to win the team's championship. And it was also for Milton, as he's second in the championship, as we see. I think that's Colin Barrow running a bit wide off of turn 1. I think he might have... was it Colin Barrow? I'm not too sure. I'm going to have a check a replay on that. Oh, he just got on late on the brakes there because he came very close to the back of Austin, and that's what happened. So, yeah. So he's lost a spot there. Myers goes through, up into 9th, and Colin Barrow down to 10th.
Yeah, I mean, Colin Barrow is still running a pretty good race. His times aren't looking bad. Top 10 sitting right now with plenty of opportunities to gain some positions back. But Clements has finally caught up to the traffic, so he is starting to try to pass these people. At this point in time, so it is going to come down because he did run another 2:03. So he is actually running a faster pace right now than Adams is, but he's now in traffic and Adams isn't in traffic. So this will be interesting if he can keep that pace up while dealing with people all around him.
I mean, the last time we saw Clements, the gap was 11 seconds. It still is 11 seconds, although he does have the second fastest lap. He's only 9 thousandths slower than the fastest lap time set by Piper in third. So he is definitely catching up to the back of Colin Barrow as they're going through that lovely turn 11 hairpin. He's taking that through third gear through there. And Tompkinson on those medium tyres still keeping in touch with Clements.
Yeah, I mean, especially during that section, you can use that slipstream and really come through that. That banking corner just gives you a lot of leeway with the tires because you can just basically just slam it in and slam on the gas and it'll stick because it's so banked. So definitely if you can get with someone who has those softs, you might be able to get pulled around for a while, but you're going to end up in these real long sections and it's just you're never going to be able to keep it up for long.
Into the pits then goes Sean Cool to make his change of tyres. I want to keep a close eye on Sean because he should go onto the medium tyres. Sharp comes into the pits as well as we're on to lap 6 out of 8. And let's see if Sean comes out on the medium tyres. And actually, what's more important though is that Cool came out ahead of Clements. So Sean is ahead of Chris. Yeah, and he's all over the back of Colin Barrow, who hasn't pitted yet. So he may get held up here behind the struggling Colin Barrow around here. Oh, in fact, he's going to get by him at turn 5 on the straightaway here. So through up into potentially 8th place now for Sean, and Clements seems to be falling back away from Sean. I'm wondering if the super softs are kind of struggling around here now.
I mean, he's got traffic. They were coming out of the pits. Looking at the tire wear, I mean, they're starting to wear, yeah, but that the amount of wear shouldn't be any more than a tenth or so, maybe 2/10. Now, dirty air, when you get into slipstreams, especially like he just did there, where he's on a different line than everyone else, every time you slap through that dirty air, it just makes your car get all sorts of sideways. And it's not real comfortable to race through, which can get your lines way offline. I mean, maybe his tires are just starting to give out. Everyone seems to be battling back at him now.
Yeah,
or it's probably just
Tompkins
the
just
fresh medium. I bet those fresh mediums just, I mean, like I said, I love the mediums, but that would be interesting if that much tire wear on a super soft is the difference in between like that can't be the right tire wear. He's got to just be having a rough race right there in the traffic.
I think he may have pitted a bit too early to change onto the super softs because he did pit on the first lap, and I think we've seen from other guys that started on the super softs, they went into the pits like after like 4 or 5 or so.
Well, we can see like Milden, right? Milden's still on the super softs, and he's got insanely burnt tires comparatively. So no, I think he's just not having a good lap.
Oh, he's just coming into the pits. It's just about, you say that Milton heads into the pits as we're coming on to the penultimate lap of the race, and the gap still with Adams to McEwen still at the 3-second margin. But I tell you what, Piper, he's thankfully keep his nose clean here for once. He's not made contact with anyone, and he's given McEwen the go around here, and Jordan Hogan now into 4th position but he's going to be pitted this time by Chevalier in 5th.
Everyone's about to pit this time by. This is going to mix everything up when they come in.
It's going to be the top 5 that have stayed out. So, what will be the gap then between Cool to Adams? It's about 10 seconds.
That's tough.
It's going to be close here. It's going to be very, very close. I think Clements is looking on the inside. Oh, Sean's lost it! Sean's lost it at turn 5! I think he may have put a couple of wheels on the grass, hence for him to spin around. Let's see. Let's get it on board here. Uncharacteristic mistake for Sean to do that. It just understeered. Just never steered at all, and around she goes. So Christmas has come early for Clements. He's gained us a couple of spots
here on McEwen. McEwen went a little wide going through the S's.
Yeah, and he's gone into second place. He's now into second place. Oh, but McEwen's got the run off of that hairpin. He's going to have a look on the outside. This is going to be quite dangerous for you because it's all Harry Flanders through here. And I think Piper does hold on.
The left side of the track becomes the inside onto the straight, so that's the side you want to fight for.
Indeed.
And Piper has got it. McEwen was opening it up.
Oh, is he going for an overlap? No, he's going to stick it behind Piper. And now the gap increases.
Now you want to battle for the inside now. He never got a chance to get there, so Piper's never going to live it up.
He's trying to do a block there on McEwen, but they have to pit this time by because there is one lap to go until the end of the race. So the top 5 will all come into the pit lane. And where will Clements come out then? Because the gap's now about 7 seconds. He could be.
I don't think he's catching first, but I think these two, Tompkinson and Clements, are going to come out right in the middle of maybe that 3rd, 4th, 5th battle right there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, out comes Adams. He's well out ahead. But where is... Oh, was that a Ford that just ran wide? Yeah, that was Milton. Milton, late break at turn 1. He's gone wide. And now Clements into that 5th spot, and he's got a really worn set of those super soft, especially in those front tyres. He's keeping a hard charger, but Tompkinson, who's trying to do the inside at turn 4, not going to happen there. And there's Chevalier in a 7th place.
Chevalier, yeah, he's keeping right in there, keeping them honest too, because if they get battling too much, he's just going to go right by for 2 of them.
Thomas Welsh running a little bit wide off of turn 4, but holds on to that 9th place. So there's the recovery, and Sean Cole into 10th place under some pressure from the returning Nathan Myers in that Renault there. Nearly gives him a little love tap too in the process, but it looks like Rob Adams has got race 1 completely sussed out. He's still ahead of Piper about 2 seconds, but nearly 3 seconds, but it's a battle for 2nd place between Piper and McEwen, and now he's going to go into slipstream.
Going defensive.
He is going heavily defensive, going in towards that hairpin, turn 11. He's going to
go
park his car.
If they slow down too much here, it's going to open up behind him.
It definitely is, and Hogan's not too far back. Good driving between the pair of them, and again McEwen gets a good run. Meanwhile, they're 3 abreast behind for 5th place. Tompkinson's put a couple of wheels on the kiddie litter, and Chevalier's 2 there. He's on the outside of Tompkinson, and he may have got that 6th place, I think. But we're still concentrating for the 2nd place battle with Piper and McEwen.
Piper's still defensive.
Yeah, still heavily defensive, and now look at this. Hogan is now in the background. He can mix it now to try and get on the podium. I'll tell you what, for the guy who didn't practice around here, that is a very solid effort. But meanwhile, it is all rosy for the pole sitter, and race winner turns out to be, yeah, indeed he will. So Adams, he won the final round of the championship last season. He's going to win race 1 here, side by side across the line. And it's just going to be Piper, then McEwen. The gap was only just half a tenth, and McEwen in 4th. Clements does hold on to that 5th place. Tompkinson will finish 6th. And Chevalier, very impressive effort there to be in 7th place. Ben Milton 8th. Thomas Welsh, who didn't qualify at all, he'll be happy with 9th. Sean Cool with that moment on lap 7, he will finish in 10th. 11th will be Nathan Myers. 12th will be Alex Austin, who really fell all the way back there. Colin Bartle 13th, and yet again Sharp in 14th position. That's a very interesting first race there.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much what you kind of expect from Lago Maggiore, is that they're going to get separated into groups. Obviously, everyone's trying to stay with that leader, but if the leader gets away, he's going to just make his own group, and then everybody else is going to separate into their groups of races. And, I mean, yeah, it was impressive. 6 people keeping it together for the entire race. Because realistically, it was a battle for 2nd, but 6th place was only about a second back from them. Like, they were battling right behind them, too, so... Yeah, pretty much, you know, the leader got to take his own little race, and then second through about, ninth or 10th just raced themselves for anywhere between second and 10th. Honestly, super impressive. Milton got all the way back up there. He had a rough race. A couple people had super rough races and climbed all the way back through everything, so it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, again, I can't praise him enough there, but Jordan Hogan there didn't practice at all, lost a family member early this week and gets a top 5 finish. I mean, that's a sensational effort there from Jordan. He'll be absolutely chuffed with that. As well as Clements there, because he started on the medium tyres and he finished in 5th place. And Thomas Welsh, the other one to start on mediums and finished at a very respectable 9th place. But it's kind of opened up the championship now with Tompkinson finishing 6th and Milton 8th and Cool in 10th. It's definitely allowed, I think, by my reckoning, it's going to put McEwen to the championship lead after that race. And also the fastest lap set to Adam Piper as well. So I've got myself the ball draw here for round 4. Well, we're just looking through position 6 to 14. Tompkinson is number 6. Chevalier is bowl 7, Milton is bowl 8, Thomas Welsh is bowl 9, Sean Cool is bowl 10, Nathan Myers is bowl 11, Austin is bowl 12, Colin Barrow is bowl 13, and Ash Sharp is bowl 14. You're probably hoping it'll be Colin Barrow yet again, so here we go. I've got myself a bowl.
He didn't defend well enough. He wasn't my style of aggressive. He let a lot of people by. We need someone who's crazy aggressive on their defensive. We need a real good defender to get that ball.
Here we go then. Let's see who is going to start on the pool for race number 2, and it is bowl number 12. So Alex Austin will start on the pool for race number 2, and Rob Adams, the winner of race 1, will start second in race 2. So Austin was battling up there, but then he had a couple of moments with his teammates around the last sector of the track. So hopefully Austin can do a little bit better here in this race now that he's starting on the pole for this race.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, everyone's got to have their elbows out in this racing. I've come to learn very quickly. Like, if you give the apex, they're going to take it. If you're side by side, don't be surprised if someone's car touches your car, because they're probably not going to completely cut their car across. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting to see how he battles with it, knowing that, you know, everyone's going to be hunting to get him. It's really a race to turn 2. Turn 1, you're not going fast enough, and then turn 2, that little straightaway, if you can get a little bit of separation out of that, like, that's all you need. You just need to not be side by side through the entire first sector. You've got to try to get your own little area to race in, because you want to use the whole track, not just the left side or the right side.
Sorry, I was just eating a strawberry when you were talking there. Yeah, what you were saying was completely right there. Definitely. I was going to say something, but it's just gone out of my mind after eating that strawberry. Anyways, it'll probably come back to me, probably not. But anyway, we're looking here at... go on, you go.
Oh, I was going to say, just being aggressive. Like, the problem is if you start on the left side, it's pole. I think, doesn't the pole start on the left side here? I'd want to start on the right side if I was pole, because it isn't a race to that first left-hander, it's a race to that first right-hander.
Okay, yeah.
And I think the pole's going to start on the left, so, like, if I'm in his same position, I'm late braking really hard into that first corner, because I want to push whoever's in second all the way to the right side of the track. I'll even leave the left side open, because whoever's in fourth behind me can take the inside, because we're not racing to the left or racing to the right. So I'd try to push whoever's in second all the way to the right side of the track. Like, you know, clean as you can, but definitely run it as wide as you can while leaving a gap for a car there, and then just win that race to the second corner instead. Because if you can line up straight there and they're battling side by side, you can easily get 1 or 2 seconds within the first lap without battling, if you can just get your own little race for a lap.
Just noticing here, Jordan Hogan doing some lovely donuts there. He'll be still very chuffed to finish that 4th place in race 1. Just noticing here too that it looks like the Honda drivers are going to start on the medium tyres for race 2. And we are still waiting for a couple of drivers to enter. I think Sharp is one of them. And so is someone else too. And I'm trying to figure out who it could be.
I see 14.
I only see 12 though. I think a couple of them haven't entered. Let's have a look. Let me check.
Now I see 13. Now I see 14 again.
Oh no, I see 14. Right, okay, let's spectate. Don't want to get myself hingied out for... yeah, there we go. I think it might be Thomas Welsh that we're waiting for. So we're getting ready then for race number 2. Alex Austin will be on the pole. And my fellow Northeast boy, let's see what he could do in that Ford. Because he needs a good result here in this race after finishing in a very poor 12th place. After battling with his teammate up at the bunt for that 2nd place, but then faded away towards the end. So we'll see what Austin could do in race 2. So this is the race 5 of 18. And like I said, Austin on the pole, followed by the race 1 winner Rob Adams. 3rd is Piper, McEwen, Hogan, Clements, Tompkinson, Chevalier, Milden, Welsh, Cool, Myers, Colombaro and Sharp bringing up the rear. Another 8 laps around this 3.6 mile racetrack, coming to you at Lago, Maggiore. Engine notes rise for the first lap of 8. Only the Honda drivers are starting on the medium tyres, and away we go for race number 2. And it looks like another good start there from the pole sitter there. And Austin, I think Adams actually had a better start than Austin, so we're going to be side by side into turn 1. Austin holds it. A little bit of touchy argy-bargy going on there for 2nd place. But it is Austin holding the way through. He
did exactly what I said. Race to the 2nd corner and just get that thing on your own.
So good solid start there from McEwen, and now Piper in that 3rd place all over the back of the Audi driver of Adams as they're making their way over that little kink of turn 4. And I think they got the 2 Renault drivers side by side too. And then you got the Colin Barrow at the back of the field. And I think Sharp has already gained a spot. In fact, they're going to be 3 abreast going into turn 5. Colin Barrow on the inside. Chevalier has made a terrible start. He's down there in 12th place. Don't know what happened to the French driver there, but I think he qualified in 8th place. He's already lost 4 places on, just about at the start of the race. But it's still Austin with the lead. And then here comes the cavalry from 2nd place on back.
I wonder how Austin's feeling right now. I know anytime I end up in the lead of a race, my heart starts beating, my hands start sweating a little bit, and it's like, you really got to calm yourself down and just be like, you know your break points. You're not going to magically gain 2 seconds or something like that. You just got to hit your lap times.
That's what I'm like when I'm playing Fortnite. Here comes Tompkinson around the outside of Clements in turn 11. He may get forced out, nearly makes contact again by his teammate Sean Cool. And again, the 2 Renault drivers again side by side, Myers and Chevalier. It was a bit like what Morris and Chevalier did last week, because they were pretty much having their own inter-team battle. It looks like it's going to be the repeat here in this race. Look at Thomas Walsh trying to have a fainter look on the inside. It's Colin Barlow nearly lost it at turn 13. But it's still Clements that leads the way, Cool in 8th. And then you got his teammate Tompkinson in 9th, and then you got Thomas Welsh in 10th, and then you got the 2 Renault drivers 11th and 12th respectively. Here comes Welsh to the inside of Tompkinson. Not going to do it. Meanwhile, it's a 5-car battle for the lead. One of the Honda drivers into the pits. That will be Tompkinson. So Tompkinson changes into the Super Softs.
That's just interesting. We saw last time it felt like they started to burn up a little too much coming in on the very, very first lap. But it seemed like everybody who started on Super Softs for the most part went all the way to the last lap. So, you know, it probably works out just the same.
Yeah, it was about top 5 that went into the pits on the last lap as Piper passes away through on the inside of Adams. That was a nice pass. So Piper up into 2nd place. And now it's a 6-car battle for the lead. And it looks like it's a 6-car battle for 7th place. Sorry, 5-car battle for 7th place.
Yeah, I mean, what a move by Piper, because to get the pass done coming out of that corner means you set that up at least 2 turns ago, because that's a whole flowing section. Like, you're not going to be able to pass in one section unless you've been setting it up the whole time.
He didn't get the back end kicking out, because I don't know how nasty of a corner that turn 4 is, considering you will get fight a little bit of oversteer. But it looks like McEwen is going to lose another spot now through the state complex, as McEwen and Adams are now side by side. It's going to allow, oh, they're nearly going to be 4 abreast here. Oh my goodness me, look at this. Battle for 3rd place then is going on, and Piper is giving Alex Austin a real run for his money. Goes to the outside at turn 11. This Piper, he's not going to do it unless if he does the undercut. Milton gets a couple of wheels on the kitty litter. Not going to lose too much time.
Sean got more.
Yeah, Sean's passed. That was Clementson. And look at Chevalier. Chevalier's actually fighting up there too. He's going to be on the inside, the short, side by side through the flat out. 10, 13, they're still side by side as they just nose ahead. Oh my goodness me, Myers out of nowhere with a double overtake. Welcome back to the BTCC, Nathan.
He got pushed off that line, and everyone just took that apex and just kept keeping him off it. He had to battle even to get back on the racing line.
Oh, goodness me. I thought he had a bit of help, but no, he was too far back. So Piper's now into the lead. Adam Piper is in the lead of the race. Let's see if I can catch a replay. No, he may have passed it.
Ooh, that is a lot of punting there.
What happened now? Oh, and Adams is in the lead.
It looked like just about everybody got into everybody. I think everyone missed their brake spot there, and maybe it was Piper missed a brake spot. I don't know who. Someone missed a brake spot.
Oh, it was Austin.
Accordioned.
It was Austin. It was Austin mistimed the braking.
Everybody I named because obviously it wasn't any of you.
And Austin went from second all the way down to 6th place, and Piper's lost the lead, and now Adams has regained 1st place.
I mean, Piper was the original person who got punted, so I don't know why I thought it was him. But he did a pretty good job of getting back into the track to keep this race alive.
Yeah, he just about did there. Just those two that McEwen ran extremely wide off turn 5. Didn't lose his position. Also notice Jordan Hogan also went wide at that same corner, but they didn't lose any positions. And yet again, the Ford drivers are going to be battling for position. Yet again, no team orders in the Ford camp. Now they're going to go free abreast onto the little short chute, going in towards that famous turn 11.
Pretty sure these are BMWs and Ford skins.
Well, they were BMW teammates, and he got to turn 11. And McEwen holds on to it. Oh, he's going to lose traction off the rear, off the end of the corner. And now Milton's having a look on the inside for turn 12, but he's going to have the outside for turn 13. More contact.
That's what I'm talking about.
Get your nose in there. What is Austin going to do? Oh, now McEwen's in the middle of a Ford sandwich. No, he's not. Still side by side.
Hogan's out of nowhere to get in here, too.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, and if they're not going to be careful, the 2 Renault drivers are going to be in the mix too, because Chevalier and Myers are there too. What's the Capri there? It's 1.3 seconds. Still going to be free abreast nearly. Going into a turn 17. Go on, Jordan. Make it forward abreast. Make it forward abreast, Jordan. Go on. One of the Audi drivers to the pits. That will be Clements. He's going to make his pit stop now into turn 1. Hopefully Austin gets his braking points right.
Tompkinson's about to end up in this battle as well, and he's already pitted. So
yeah, he's already pitted. Yeah,
he's on a good little pace. It looks like.
Now the Renault drivers are in this battle. So we've got a 6-car scrap for the 3rd place, led by Milton. Hogan and Austin are making a little bit of contact through turn 3, and Hogan's through up into 5th. Yeah, Tompkins is only 1.3 seconds back, and he's on the super softs. And he's also bringing Thomas Welsh too.
Made his pit. Yeah, so everyone in front of him, he's 4 seconds back of the leader. Like, he's technically in the lead right now.
He will be in the lead, definitely.
I don't actually know how long the pit stops are, so don't quote me on that just yet. But usually that's pretty much where you want to be. That's the sweet zone. Like, inside 7 seconds is usually good. This is a pretty short pit, so I'd say probably 5 or 4 seconds is probably the area he's looking for.
You can definitely tell that Tompkins is flying around this racetrack. He has set the fastest lap of the race, a 2-minute 3.460. Now we're going defensive yet again. Oh, squeezing Jordan Hogan up against the wall on the straightaway. Dear me, that was rather aggressive there.
Oh, McEwen's been defending with everything he's got.
Look at this. I mean, Hogan was having a look to the inside. Scrapes a bit of contact with the wall. Again, the stewards are going to have a look at that, but that was rather forceful. And I think Hogan did have a look. He did stick like a front bumper there, and I don't think McEwen was supposed to cut underneath on Hogan on that there. So again, the stewards will look at that incident. And
well, I mean, Piper is all over Adams right here.
Oh, he definitely is, yeah. As we pass into the second half of the race, it gets a great one off of turn 17. So we're going to have a battle again yet for the lead, as Piper will have the inside for turn 1. Adams not really wanting to protect it, but he's got, well, you say the inside for turn 2, but can Piper make it stick? Closes the door, now goes for the cutback, and he's through. Piper's through.
Yep.
Nice pass again.
Sit on that apex. Can't cut me back if I'm not moving very fast.
Yet again, the two there, Austin there battling with, I think that's Hogan. I think Hogan has actually finally gotten by. Yes, indeed he has. And now look at the guy in 8th place, Tompkinson. He is there too. He's already passed Nathan Myers, and he's going to be on the outside of Chevalier. Oh, careful on the brakes there.
How is he purple going? Like, I don't understand how he's on a purple lap battling 6 cars.
If we get the slipstream of Austin, that'll probably be why. Into a state complex we go. I need to stop looking on board with other drivers here because this is just too good to watch. I'm sorry that we're not seeing the other drivers further back, but this is just too tempting to watch here, like a mess like this going on for battling here. But Tompkinson is flying. 3.8 it is now between himself to the leader, Piper. It's right on board with Tompkinson.
Pick anyone in the top 10 and they're in a battle right now.
Oh, is he going to have a look on the inside? The Chevalier, there's a little touch. Oh, and Austin is through, maybe. This one on Hogan. Adams is not giving up that lead just yet. I'm just seeing he's trying to pass McEwen. Piper, sorry. And he's bump drafting there. Austin is Tompkinson. Pushes Hogan a little bit out wide. Going into 10-14. Gets into the back of Austin. Hogan gets into the back of Austin.
Oh, now Tompkinson's getting punted everywhere. Oh, everyone's battling for positions. How upset would you be if you hadn't pit yet and a person who pit had already passed you? I'd be racing him hard.
That would be...
I'd be battling Tompkinson like crazy. Like, no, I still gotta pit. Nah.
Again, he's just all over the back of him. Nathan Myers in the 7th. Where's Hogan? Hogan has gone way down the order. He's down in 9th now. Is that Ash Sharp in 10th place? No, that's Colin Barlow. That's Hogan's teammate. Sean in 11th place. Look at this. Best of 2 Renault drivers getting into each other. Myers and Chevalier getting into each other. Hogan trying to recover up a few spots now. Now that's going to put Chevalier a couple of wheels on the grass. And Hogan's back into that 8th place. Now it's towards 10-4. Oh, goodness me. I tell you what, it's all happening here in race 2. We've got 3 laps to go and we've got a race left.
Yeah. I mean, Adams is still trying to battle back for the lead. I'm not sure if they understand how crushed they probably are. I don't know. The pit timer is pretty short, but where'd Tompkinson go, actually?
Tompkinson's still 5th. He's in 5th.
Oh, he's in 5th now.
He's in 5th place. He has passed Austin somehow.
Flying through these people.
He's catching up.
Yeah, like, unless these pit changes are like 3 seconds, like... I mean, they're battling for second. Like, he is
They're battling for the lead. They're battling for the lead.
Not really. Tompkinson's leading.
Oh, no, I mean, like, before the pit stop, I'm just seeing here, Adams has got the lead back. No, Piper's got it back now. So
yeah,
the top
he got the
3...
cutback on him, though.
He does have the cutback. But again, Tompkinson is catching up, and I think I just noticed there are a few position changes here in 6th place. And it's like, again, it's like NASCAR style, double file through these fast series of corners here. And Hogan versus Myers versus Austin versus Chevalier. I'll tell you what, this is good racing here by these lot. They are making a little bit of contact, but it's still fair and clean.
For the lead.
Oh, he's going to have a look around the outside. I was just looking for the battle for 6th place here. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess.
There's battles everywhere. Pick any place and they're in a battle.
Coming up now with 2 laps to go. Sean Cool has asserted himself now into this battle for this 6th place. Milton's into the pits. That's Milton. So too does Jordan Hogan. Austin is in.
Well, these will be the decider because they're close to where's Tompkinson compared to where they come out. Anywhere close?
Well, Tompkinson is just going into turn 2. So I think Tompkinson...
Not even close.
Tompkinson is going to...
Tompkinson's got this crushed.
Yeah, Tompkinson is going to have this race sewn up here in race number 2. Which therefore means he will start at the back.
Yeah, he needs to make a mistake or something. If he keeps the pace he's running right now, yeah, he's got these guys crushed. He's about to pass them before they've even gone in yet.
Loads of drivers taking 10-4 seriously, a bit wide. But where is Milton? He's just coming in towards 10-5, all over the back of Tompkinson's teammate Sean Koo. Has a look on the inside of that corner, and will he have the speed off the corner? Sean runs a little bit wide. And through into 6th goes Milton. But the gap between Milton to Tompkinson is about 4.2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, that's not coming down. That one's, unless if Tompkinson doesn't make a mistake, he's got this sewn up. It's really a battle for second, third, fourth, fifth, all that area, because Tompkinson did not get any pressure coming. Like, I mean, not no pressure. He was battling like crazy through everybody, but no one knocked him off the track. He didn't have any lap that randomly turned into 207 or 208. So, I mean, yeah, he was just flying through traffic, putting down, like, this unbelievable. Fastest lap pace through traffic, insane.
Oh, McEwen ran a little bit wide at turn 11. He might lose a spot to, that would be Clements, actually. Clements there recovering now, and he has passed McEwen, who was the championship leader, so he may lose the championship lead again to Tompkinson in the process. And Colin Barrow's there too, sticking his nose in there and all. Jordan Hogan's all the way down into 13th place after making that pit stop, and so too there is Austin in 12th for Thomas Welsh. And again, as Sharp, they're really struggling yet again in that Vauxhall. And
well,
again, it's
all
another.
Going to come in for their pits.
Yeah, they will
so
be, because it will be the last lap.
Question as to who's the first non-pit? So Ben's going to get in front of quite a bit of them, it looks like.
Oh, definitely.
Right along with Sean as well, which is amazing that Sean's battled back. I've seen him have a few major issues. And
oh, actually, Piper comes out just ahead of Ben.
Oh,
and Ben's gone wide off a turn one yet again. So Piper into second. And Tompkinson has race 2 in the bag. Well, he's actually put it away from this battle for third place that's going on really heavily going on. Contact there.
Ooh,
Adam sideways off a turn 4 with Sean.
Hey, they kept it together.
And they did as well. And again, Clements is there too. Clements there in 6th. Just there, just to be, you know, if anything happens, then them two, Clements is there to pick up the pieces.
To make a mistake, or 3 wide through the S's would probably make up a second, though, so if he can just get him to battle crazily, he could close it up.
Well, you never know what it's like at BTCC. They'll just, well, what is that line there for Ben Mass? Yeah, was that like that was like a shortcut? I wonder if he caught
a tire. There's a little goofy part of the curb there that'll like yank you to the right real quick, so I wonder if he had a tire get pulled.
Or was that just a blatant shortcut? Again, that's going to be quite interesting to see, because he did actually pull some gap away from Adams and Cole.
Yeah, got him a really good line on the exit. I don't know how much time you actually gain going 5 miles to the right randomly and then coming back across at a good angle. I don't know if it's a time gain or not. It looks like they've closed it up though, so he might not have had the same kind of speeds and exits as everyone else. Who knows?
Just to confirm, back through the field here, Chevalier trying to make a move on Thomas Welsh, who's in that 8th place, not going to get it done, but Nathan Tompkinson, what a drive this has been here. He's probably regained the championship lead after this, runs a little bit wide off turn 17, but makes no odds. He's going to win the race by over 5 seconds.
A little help.
But he's still going to hold on to third place.
A move on Milden.
Yeah, he's trying to do, but he's not going to have that much time. Piper comes across 2nd, Milton 3rd, Adams 4th, Cool 5th, Clements in 6th, and that was one of the Renault drivers, but it's Welsh that just gets it ahead of Chevalier. Nathan Myers in 10th, 11th goes to Austin, 12th is Colin Barrow, he finishes ahead of Jordan Hogan, and then Ash Sharp there, who's having a real baptism of fire in this championship, and he is going to finish last yet again, but he's going to start on the pole for race number 3. In fact, he's ghosted. I don't think he's actually there. I don't think he's there.
Yeah, this is an auto drive for sure. As you can see, randomly braking on the apex. 100% example of how not to drive a car right here. Yeah, I mean, at least he hits the apex and really hugs that apex, keeping it tight.
He's got to park his car in the middle of the track to finish in last place, but like I said, he's going to start on the pole for the final race. So there is how they look, and again, Tompkinson, that's 3 wins out of 5 for, I believe that's now the new championship leader yet again.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens this race. You know, does anyone else go to that same strategy of starting on mediums and then racing? Like, I wonder.
So here we go yet again, looking at the results from the second race. Tompkinson wins. The gap 5.2 seconds in the Piper. Milton third, Adams fourth, Cool fifth, Sickness Clements. And McEwen struggled in that race there to finish in 7th place after being third for the majority of that race. Welsh and who was that? Chevalier 8th and 9th. Then Nathan Myers 10th. Austin, Colin Barrow, Jordan Hogan, and Sharp bringing up the rear. But it's going to be Sharp and Hogan that's going to start on the front row for the reverse grid. Now, usually race 3 is always the frenetic, the carnage race. So, are we going to see that again for tonight, this race?
Oh, at Lago? Absolutely. 100%. For sure. I mean, like I said when we were talking about the intro, the track is huge. It fits 5 cars on it. So, I mean, if you can drive 5 abreast down the, like, back straight or something like that, or 5 abreast down the front straight, they probably will. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. So, yeah, I expect, like, insanity. You know, everyone's fighting for position. Everyone doesn't want to lose a position. That is so beyond obvious that no one wants to give up a position. The races aren't quite long enough. You know, it's not like we're doing one 24-lap race where you can give up a position on lap 3 and get it back on lap 18, right? You gotta, like, race hard for each race. So no one's giving up positions. We already saw that, you know, a couple of them can really battle through traffic. So yeah, it's gonna be intense. I expect it to be nothing short of mayhem.
Just getting back to Sharp here. It looks like he's actually back now. Yeah, I remember what happened in last season because he did start.
That's how he closed the gap up so much. I see.
What was that?
So Ben's line was crazy bad. He slowed down, and that's how that gap got closed back up. Got you. Because I was like, it must not have been that good a line if they closed this gap back up, because it looked bad. So I guess he braked on the straightaway or braked into the corner or something like that to, like, penalize himself for the huge cut.
Oh, mind you, having the slipstream after turn 10 to 11 towards that hairpin, you do get at least about if you're within the slipstream of another, you gain about at least 3 tenths on the guy ahead. So there you are, maybe.
Yeah, but slipstream distance, like, yeah, it's been nerfed. You got to be pretty close to pull slipstream, right? Like 7.5 seconds, maybe a second if you're lucky, but not really at 7.5. I'm pretty sure. So no, he gapped them for sure. Like they weren't pulling on slip or anything on that straight. But we're on to the final race now.
Indeed, and it will be Sharp on the pole, followed by Hogan, his teammate Colin Barrow in 3rd, Austin, Myers, Chevalier, Welsh, McEwen. 9th is Clements, Cool, Adams, and then Milton, Piper, and the race 2 winner Tompkinson at the back of the field. But Sharp, he managed to get a 2nd place here the last time he raced in the reverse grid at race 2 at St. Croix back in last season. He's got a good jump though over Hogan as the field make their way in towards turn 1 for the final time. Oh no, contact! Hogan's through. Hogan is through, so Sharp back down into 2nd place, and Colin Barrow being shoved down even more. Bit of sideways there from one of the Volvos.
Oh, it was Colin Barrow. It's like someone got pushed real wide.
Yeah, I think because Hogan was on the inside of turn 1, and now here comes Austin.
Tompkinson got into Adams. Oh, they're all good. Don't worry, they're good drivers.
They're good, yeah, and I think he slowed down just to let them go by, so it's all still, you know, happy families and that. It is only 1 lap into the race, but look at it again. Oh, someone's off! Someone's had a huge off there at turn 5. Who was that? That is Sharp! Oh, no, Sharp. Yet again, what has happened? It's not been the season for Sharp here. What happens to him? Oh, he just gets hit really hard by Chevalier.
Don't bump.
Oh, dearie me. I tell you what, Sharp cannot get a break. Right? He cannot catch a break. He started quite high up in race last week at the Nürburgring, and he gets shoved all the way back to last place, and here he goes yet again, gets punted from the rear hard by Chevalier, and that's his race done yet again. So again, another non-point scoring finish for Ash Sharp, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Hogan is really checked out. 2 seconds over Austin and Chevalier. He will be under threat from the stewards after that incident.
I mean, the main people to keep an eye on against him right now, if he stays checked out, is McEwen and Clements and Tompkinson, because they're on mediums. everyone in front of Liam is on super softs. So there is an actual tire gap going on. So they're needing to gap these mediums, and some of them are battling so hard they can't get away from people on mediums.
Yeah, just looking further back at the field here, see what... Oh, they're going to be side by side going into the pits here. Be careful! Oh my God, Adams and Go battling their way into the pits there. That was dangerous there. I tell you what, the stewards are going to have a long night after looking at these incidents. I'll tell you that. God, there's a whole host of cars making their way out to the pits.
The medium switch has worked every race so far, right? Or no, Adams started on super softs. Never mind.
Yeah, Adams...
I kid.
But he did start mediums for this race, and he comes out just ahead of Cool, but I don't think that rivalry's going to be finished between these two. Tompkinson and then McEwen, 9th and 10th. I think those, you said those were the ones that started on the medium tyres, didn't they?
Clement started on mediums. Milden started on mediums. Liam, Tompkinson, Adams, Sean. Yeah, just down from wherever I started up.
About nearly half the field
started mediums, just about, yeah.
About that, yeah.
I am quite worried for a lot of the super soft starts, though, because the super soft starts haven't gotten big gaps yet. Hogan's done a pretty good job. You know, Hogan's sitting on about... No, he
maybe
doesn't
a 2.5 second lead he's got.
Yeah, but Clements is the closest one to him, right? And he's only 4.5 seconds back. So we just learned last time the pits are, what, about 5.5, 6 seconds? So
about that, roughly.
Yeah, you're going to want he's going to be hoping that everyone else starts slowing Clements down because they're on their fresh super softs now. They're flying.
Colin Barter, with that little moment that he had on the first lap, is still holding on to that 4th place.
He's just done a good job of battling up in there.
Yeah, he is. He's, as you say, they're trying to get somewhat aggressive, and yeah, he may have got cut out there on the first lap at turn 1, but you know, Thomas Welsh is looking the back of him as going into turn 17. But you know, he's given him a wide berth. You don't want to give him too much of a wide berth to let him go by. I think that's Milton coming into the pits now.
With Colin Barr, I've watched him race quite a bit, and there's some people I race against too. I think a lot of people think he will back out, so they push him. Because they know that he'll be the first to give up. And you got to remember, a lot of racing is, you know, kind of like, you know, you got to get the other person to quit. It's a little bit of chicken. So if you know someone's going to back out, if I'm racing you and I know you'll back out if I put a lot of pressure on you, I'm going to put a lot of pressure on you if I know you're going to back out of the corner.
Yeah,
and so you want to make sure you don't get an idea that, you know, that once some people know you back out, they'll start drawing blood on you. So you want to make sure you don't have a reputation of, like, not racing and fighting and, you know, sometimes putting your car against a car if people are racing you too hard.
Clements is making a pass on Colin Barlow, just when you say that. Yeah, I think Colin Barlow's too much of a gentleman driver. I reckon he doesn't want to get into any of this, you know, argy-bargy sort of stuff. But there you can see he just went from 4th all the way down to 7th on just on that straightaway. So he's just pretty much let Welsh, Myers and that go by. And just hopefully if them three will make another incident, and then hopefully Colin Barlow will gain a few more spots there. But they're starting to catch up for the battle for 2nd place.
Hey, it only takes one lap for you to not give up your position, dive down, and make a little bit of contact on someone for them to stop treating you like that, right? You only have to spin someone once before they'll stop treating you and bullying you.
Well, like what you were just saying there, then Myers is sticking his nose in that battle there with Clements and Welsh, and now Colin Barlow's gained a spot because of it.
He's getting aggressive. It's fun to watch.
It wasn't the case that he was getting aggressive, it was just because that Myers just made contact with Clements into turn 11, and then Colin Barlow was there just to pick up the pieces.
Well, but I will say that Hogan has been able to step up a little bit since he's gotten his own little air and Clements has had to work through, and he has gapped it almost up to 6 seconds on the nearest person he's racing against technically, who I guess I had that wrong because I thought he'd already pitted.
Clements is pitted in from the super softs. He's going on to the mediums. That's a strange one there to be changing tyres then.
There's a rule we don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
I can't imagine any good reason to run super softs for half the race and mediums for half the race.
Yeah, that's a bit of an odd one, I reckon. That's a very odd one. Meanwhile, looking at, I think, McEwen, who was in 8th place, he may have lost a spot because Tompkinson's through. Now Tompkinson is starting to claw gains on that battle for that second, effectively what, third spot now? It's just ahead.
It's hard to say. Yeah, probably. I mean, they've been battling good, but they're also, if you just look at their times, you can see their times are good, which means they're actually not battling. They're just kind of racing and giving up their lines and stuff right now because they probably know they still got to catch. Colin Barrow's trying to, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. He backed out there. He could have been really, really aggressive against Thomas. He could have been real aggressive, not giving him the room to come back on the track. Really, said like, no, you've now messed up. It's my racing line now. But he lifted off and moved over and gave him plenty of room to come back on the track, and that lost him a position there. If he just stayed agreed, he'd be in front of this whole group right now.
It lost him 2 positions. Yeah, I was just looking at the replay. Yeah, because Thomas went wide in the first part of the Snake Complex, and through went Tompkinson and McEwen. So even though he was doing like the honest thing, the gentlemanly thing, he's lost positions as a result.
Dude, it's so amazing to see because as an American myself, I don't race like that, and I don't think we have that reputation. So it's great to know we do have good drivers who will be polite with you because the rest of us won't. I don't know why anyone else would expect it.
Well, at least it's not racing NASCAR doing polite. The bump and run. Oh, McEwen there, different line. Thomas goes into the pits, and now through goes Sean Cool.
I'm excited about Hogan's gap here. He has a pretty good gap. On the nearest pit behind him. Well, he's got them crushed. They're in trouble. I'm talking about people who have already made their pits. So you got Tompkinson's the nearest person to him, and he's still right at about 9 seconds back from him, which means Hogan should come out of the pits ahead of him if everything stayed as it is for the next 3 laps.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's just down to Hogan to see if he can get his 3rd career win. I think I want to say, no, maybe it's his 4th, I can't mind exactly. But it's in the hands of Jordan. Even though he had a poor race too, he did start a 2nd place. And he got into the lead past Sharp. And unfortunately, Sharp is retired from the race now.
I mean, I like Hogan's position a lot more, honestly, than Tompkinson. Tompkinson could get slowed down by this traffic he's coming up on. And that will cost him time. Yeah, well, they haven't, but he's still catching them, so he still could get slowed down by them. Hogan will not get slowed down by traffic. There's no possibility that he runs into traffic. So he just gets to run his own laps until he pits. And if he keeps the pace up, he's going to be ahead of Tompkinson coming out of the pits.
Well, just as you say that there, I think the gap is starting to come down now with Hogan to Chevalier, because it was at 3 seconds. It's now 2.6, so Chevalier has got something right in that Renault, but don't forget he's under a bit of scrutiny because of that heavy contact with Sharp on the first lap. So he could be in a little bit of bother here. He may pick up a warning, but he is starting to catch up on Hogan.
Chevalier. Yeah, I think that's Chevalier doing really well. Not so much that Hogan's coming down too much, because Tompkinson hasn't closed the gap much. And not many other people are, so I think that might just be him. Yeah, he ran a 2:03.2. That's flying. Yeah, so he just had a real good lap against him. Because everyone else was basically 2:04s until you get back to Tompkinson. Oh, even Tompkinson was 2:04.
That'll be just the awareness of the super softs as we've got 3 laps to go. Still Hogan with the lead. 3 seconds to get back up is now. And he got Chevalier in 2nd, Austin on to 3rd place, and then Myers in 4th. So the Renault drivers are 2nd and 4th, but now Tompkinson is there battling with the returning Nathan Myers, and McEwen is there in 6th.
The more Myers slows him down, the better it is for the leader.
Piper again running. A lot of drivers seem to be running wide at turn 4. I mean, luckily there's not a points penalties here. Otherwise everyone would have picked up some penalties after that. Looking here at Ben Milden, and Milden has been a little bit just driving all right, I suppose. He hasn't done anything spectacular apart from the defence in that 2nd race, but then he fell all the way down to... Oh no, he finished in 4th place, so Milton's had a decent
and he's
event.
For about the same thing.
Whoa! Sean's went extremely wide. He's going to lose that. He's going to lose 8th place here to Piper. Yeah, and Piper's through. Piper's through into 8th. Go on, you were saying about Ben then? before I cut you off there. We've
Oh,
seen
well,
Sean
he's
going off.
actually I'm pretty sure he's technically in 5th right now. I do think Chevalier and Austin are not going to keep up once they use their pits here on either this lap or the next lap. I think they both fall back behind maybe the Clemens area, like the 8th, 9th area, somewhere in there. I think Milton right now is probably clear of them, so he's actually technically racing 5th. It's just real. Like the real question is, can Hogan come out ahead of Tompkinson here in 2 laps? Because he's right at the pit gap right now. Like they're holding this pit gap. They've been holding it for like the last 3 laps. Tompkinson gets it a little wide coming down that straight.
As Nathan
so
goes
that's
in.
what I find super interesting is like these leaders. I don't know the pit gap quite well enough. I just know it's right around what they're holding right now. And the fact that Tompkinson's going to be on a flat lap where Hogan's going to be coming out of the pits, there's a lot of time that gets made up in that braking zone right there, being at 150 miles an hour versus being at 30.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty interested to see what happens because Hogan's going to be coming into the pits at the end of this lap, and that's where everything's going to break out. I thought Liam and Tompkinson might battle, and that might slow him down, but honestly, he's kind of separated from him, and he's gotten on a purple lap now, so if he can just make do right here with Austin, I don't know how. It's going to be real close because now he's bringing that gap down, too.
He'll probably work with
Hogan
Austin, maybe. Oh, no,
wrong.
he's not going to work with Austin. He's going to try and pass him. That's turn 6, down to turn 7, into turn 8. This fast series of, what is it, left, right, left, and then into turn 9, into turn 10, onto the straightaway, and then will we see Austin trying to defend that 3rd position, or is he just going to let Tompkinson go by?
Got to.
He's not really defending his lead,
Nope.
so Tompkinson's going to pull out a late pass here, and he's just going to let him by.
Yeah, I mean, he starts to go in the pits, so he's not actually racing Tompkinson, and he knows it. Does he start to go in the pits? I think he does.
Yeah, it's only just Hogan, as Austin runs extremely wide off of 13. So it's only Chevalier, Hogan, and Austin that have yet to pit as we're coming into the last lap.
That far back of Hogan. Chevalier is going to be in the middle of this battle too when he comes out of the pits.
Again, still
It's just
gaining
really,
a bit.
does he get lucky and move into the front of the battle when he comes out, or does he get stuck in the back of the battle? Because that's going to be a huge thing for his positioning, is where he comes out in that battle.
Well, we're going to find out now as we're going into the last lap. Chevalier's putting on a fresh set of those beater tyres, as does Hogan.
Hogan's got the lead.
Hogan has the lead, but can he hold it on for 1 lap? Chevalier will be in 3rd, McEwen in 4th. So what is the gap now? 1.2 seconds. So Tompkinson.
Chevalier, nice. Getting in the podium right now.
But like I says, might lose that podium because the incident was sharp on the 1st lap. He might lose it.
You know me, I don't care about stewards. I'm only here for the race, baby.
McEwen in 4th, Milton 5th, Sean in 6th, then it's Adam 7th,
trying
Piper
to make a move on McEwen. Oh, didn't know where to go with it. Should he widen it up or cut it short?
Oh, he's going for the cutback. Let's go for the cutback. McEwen will have the inside though for turn 6.
Is Milton going to push him down on the inside? No, he's going to give him the whole track.
He's giving him a nice bit of respect there, and just completely shortcuts to turn 6, and it shuts the door right in Milton's face as we've got a few more corners to go, and the gap is still stabilising between Hogan to McEwen. Sorry, that's Tompkinson.
Yeah, fresh mediums, burnt, super softs. He's closing it, but he's closing it down so slow. This is the turn I think he has the best chance to gain. Tompkinson does, because the super softs can really grip in here, and if he gets on that throttle early. I mean, yeah.
It's down 1.1. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Yeah, I don't know that a 10th or 2 is going to be enough. He's going to do that a couple more times on these corners, but, I mean, there's just not 10 corners left.
No, there's about 5 corners to go now at this rate. And again, that's where the super softs will come flying.
Milton and McEwen are in a heck of a battle, though.
Oh, and Milton's going extremely wide, going in towards 14 and 15. He's trying to go around the outside, and McEwen tries to cut him off. Milton's still there. And McEwen still holds on to that 4th place. Meanwhile, it's a battle going on right behind, but it looks like Hogan has got it done here. He is. He's going to go with the last corner.
Trying to get a run, but yeah, it's so wide.
It's not going to happen, though. Hogan wins race 3. Tompkinson is second.
Oh,
Chevalier in
Adams
third.
and Piper got into each other. Piper might beat him. He's got the line. Oh, Piper passed him.
Piper just passed him. Piper passed Adams, as well as Myers just passes Walsh, too. See if I can get a replay of that. No, we can't, unfortunately. So there you go.
Can't get replays once it's final, yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate, but there you go, Jordan Hogan.
That was amazing.
Jordan Hogan is yet again a British touring car winner.
Congrats, nice race. Just get out clean and just run your race, and it worked out. Everyone else had to deal with everything that he didn't.
I'm pretty sure that's his 4th win. I know we had two wins on Tsukuba back in season 8 with the 98 cars, but. Like what I said at the start of the stream, we had 3 different winners in the 3 races. We had Adams winning race 1, we had Tompkinson in race 2, and then we had Jordan Hogan winning race 3.
Yeah, I mean that's Lago for you. That's, just the tightness of the racing just means that anyone 1 through like about 10 had a chance to win that race, and then you flip it, and it's like everyone has a chance to win every race. It's all about consistency.
Yeah, definitely is. It's consistency wins championship, not winning the most races, well, except for last season, since Nicholas Carr won about 22 races. But there you go. That has been the 2nd round of the GT Sport BTCC Blueprints with STDash Designs Season 10 at Lago Maggiore. Next week, I forget where we're at next week, Jerry. Help us out here. Where are we at?
Why would you even try to throw that my way? Like, I have a clue. I looked at that the day you gave it to me, and I was like, cool, bro. I'm in. And I don't remember anything after that.
Let me have a look.
I can probably stall for a second.
Dragon Trail.
Oh, Dragon Trail.
Yeah, we're at the seaside. We're at the Dragon Trail. The infamous bus stop of death. So, yeah, we're going to see a lot of cars scraping the wall off the exit of that. But anyways, I've been there, Sean.
What a worthless track. I'm excited for that.
Oh, yes.
I can't wait to see the murder at Dragon Trail. And I'm Jerry, guys. Thanks for joining.
And, yeah, I can't wait for next week, too. I think it's going to be thoroughly entertaining, at least. So, yeah, that has been it. Congratulations to the 3 winners, and let's just hope and pray that our Sharp can get some serious points for next week, because he's under a bit of pressure now for being relegated from this championship. But anyway, the host has ended the game. I'm going to end the stream. You're going to have fun with Baby Bear again, playing trying to help him play better at GT Sport or something like that, and we will see you then for next week at Dragon Trail.